Stephen, you were right in that contest early on and then just sort of slipped away in that third term a bit, and I guess even late in the fourth quarter weren't able to peg it back with those missed opportunities. But how did you see it?
Yeah, I think just addressing the group, if you come to a game in a state at SCG and you're going to break even at the contest, break even uncontested possessions, have more scoring shots, more inside 50s, you'd take it. And I think, they were very efficient. They nailed their opportunities, and I think, as you said, we left a few out there. So disappointing again. I think that third quarter to let them get a break away from us. That's been a bit of a tale this year for us. So we'll have to address that. But we stuck at it, and I think those 5 opportunities we missed at the start of the last, if you can take a couple of those, it puts a bit more scoreboard pressure on. So who knows what can happen. So it's a missed opportunity.
And like you said, it's been a couple of weeks in a row at least where that one period really has taken the game away from you, or at least made it harder. So how are you trying to address that in the time you've had there?
Look, it's been a bit of a constant. I think with a young group at times, the game can get away from you really quickly with momentum. So you try and find ways to wrestle it back a little bit. And I think we had that. They were kicking some pretty special goals from difficult parts of the ground, and then you've just got to, probably the best thing you can do is nail your opportunities when you get them. So I think we're still learning to be that team that plays 4 strong quarters of footy consistently, and that's our growth area.
It looks like you came with a defined plan to maybe slow Sydney down at times. Can you talk us through that and how effective it was?
Oh, look, they're damaging with the ball. They've got some speed off half back on their wings that overlap and get some run from behind. So we wanted to, I guess, just make sure, especially on this ground, that we try to take the corridor off them a little bit. We identified Errol Goulden as a really special player that's significant to the way they move the footy, and we just thought 2 could be a great option for him to probably just try and nullify a little bit, which worked. And I guess as a coach, it gets to a point where a matchup might be working, but the score's slipping away a little bit. So we had to drop that and see if we get a spike from Tuke around the footy and try and win the game, not just have an honourable loss. So that was the planning there. But they moved the footy really well from their back 50, and thought for the majority we tried to contain that as best we could.
How desperate are you, I guess, to maintain a performance like that and a sort of fight from this team through the last few weeks of the season, obviously with finals now, extremely unlikely?
Yeah, it's super important for us. We've got 2 goals as a footy club, and that's to have the most wins the Gold Coast Suns have ever had, and that's 11. So we need the next 2. And secondly, we want to get after and win the VFL Premiership. So those boys took care of business today. They had another really good win, and that's really pleasing from us. There was some standout performances as well from some boys down there, which was great to see, and that builds pressure on the boys above. And I think for us, we want to play a brand of footy that stacks up against anyone, and that's the goal. I mean, the boys have got a lot to fight for yet, and we want to try and create our own history, so that's still attainable for us as a club.
And how much of a temptation is there on a day like today to leave Tuke in a matchup like you had on Errol and let the younger mids sort of go to work on the stoppages? Matt Rao, Noah Anderson, who were doing pretty well in there, it seems.
Yeah, I think it's just for us, we've got flexibility. Tuke could have kept doing that job for us, and I think just when the scoreboard gets away from you in the third, that ultimately sways your decision making. So I don't know, there's no point holding a match up and saying you've won that if you've lost the game. So you want to try and do both. And if one's getting away from you, the most important thing is trying to stay in the game and win the game. So that probably overrides all your decision making. And and Tuke, he's missed a lot of the year. He's come back. He's really task driven, and he's shown his worth in that role. So for us, it was just, we thought it could be a win-win for us, and it was proving that way to a point.
Has the emergence of Sam Flanders in the last 2 months allowed you to do that with Tuke? Has it given you a bit more flexibility through your midfield? Oh,
yeah, I think so. Look, Tuke missed 10 to 12 weeks during the year, which really hurts. I think you take anyone's captain out of their team or their prime midfielder out, it hurts you as a team at times because you lack a bit of drive and experience, but the opportunity is as well that you get good looks at some guys from underneath. So we've had Bailey Humphrey, Melly Rosas, Sammy Flanders go through there on top of Raoul Anderson Swallow. So that's been a real positive, and Sammy's come along at a real rate, which we've been really pleased with. So it does give you opportunity, but also you're asking guys at times as well to relinquish some role and maybe try something different as well. So we're still finding what that mix looks like, but most of the boys in our team have got great flexibility and can play different roles. So that's very handy for a coach to have.
Was that Malcolm Rose's best game?
Oh, it was up there. Melly, yeah. I mean, he hit the scoreboard today. I mean, the more we can get the ball in his hands, the better we are. And he's got speed and he's got aggression and he applies pressure. So Melly's still finding that belief himself. You know, he's still discovering what he can do at this level. And I don't think he actually knows what he can do yet, which is exciting. I mean, we've tried to get him around the ball a little bit more because he's so clean and he's got that class. And you saw him today finish his work, which is great. So he'll get great belief from that.
He was one of the standouts, but what did you make of the forward line in general, especially with Ben King out for the first time?
Yeah, look, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I think we had 13 marks inside 50, which gets it done a lot of the time. So Sam Day came in and I thought he competed really strongly, and Levi as well. I think, yeah, on this ground it's a bit unique. You can not get too high at times as forwards, just making sure you stay relevant. But I still felt like as a team we needed to deliver the ball a little bit better in our front third, and that would have helped our forwards as well. So, no, they created enough opportunities. It's just owning your moments when they come.
And what did you make of Sam Day? He's had to work pretty hard to get to the 150 milestone, especially over the past few years.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I haven't been here long, but you sort of realise too, it's 150 games, but he's only the 5th player at our club to reach that, and he's been at the club since the beginning. So I think the resilience he's shown over his career is, he's got enormous respect within our footy club, and you saw how much it meant to him and his family today. So it's a really special occasion for him, and unfortunately, he couldn't get the result, but I think Sam reminded everyone what he can do at this level, and we're really pleased for him to become a life member of the club and get that 150 games.
You expecting Ben King to be back next week, though?
Hoping so. I mean, he's been dealing with a bit of niggle with his knee, so really pleased for him to work through the form issue, and it just got to a point where it was that cost benefit of him rolling out and working through it. Hopefully he spikes off this rest and he bounces back for the last 2 games of the year, but when you've got players like Sam Day available, it just makes sense to bring him in fresh and use the depth of your squad.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.